I first heard of Maya's leather map long before I ever set foot in that desert. I never imagined it would lead.
When Maya invited me to join her, she already believed the map pointed here. I only realized the magnitude of the site when I saw the carvings myself.
The symbols matched the ones on her leather map, etched with the same obsessive precision. It confirmed we were standing at the threshold. I felt the air cool as we descended. It was the first sign that something ancient waited below the sand. Maya traced her fingers across the slab, matching cuts to the map's sketched doorway. She knew this was our real beginning.
We opened the gateway with a mix of caution and excitement. None of us spoke. Fear and awe kept us silent.
Even then, the instability warned us this place had been sealed for centuries. Still, we pressed on.
That hall depicted stories long erased from official records. Maya believed the emblem marked the first clue.
The emblem was identical to one on her leather map.
That match accelerated everything.
We expected storage rooms, but instead found coded markings, clues guiding the worthy deeper. Those crescents represented a descent pattern. The map had shown it, but here it became real.
It felt like the structure was nudging us forward, deeper into its labyrinth.
Every symbol echoed the same theme: convergence toward a hidden point. Maya paused beneath the arch, as if sensing its importance. I later realized she was right.
The pillars formed a ritual space. The map's sketches hinted this was the first descent.
I remember gripping the railing, aware the air grew cooler with each step.
It was here that the leather map's creases aligned perfectly with the symbols. The match was unmistakable.
Crossing that threshold felt irreversible. We had stepped into the unknown.
The slope suggested deliberate compression, guiding us toward a hidden layer below.
Finding gold dust that early was alarming. It meant the legends had some truth. I felt the walls closing in, as though the tunnel was testing our resolve. We cleared obstacles slowly, convinced each one hid a deeper warning.
It became clear the builders had engineered traps to guard something worthy of such effort.
Every hollow echo told me we were walking above empty space, perhaps chambers untouched for ages.
Maya recognized the symbols instantly. They marked the second descent. Beyond that doorway, the real depth of the structure began. Each step felt as though time itself resisted us, but the map urged us onward. The concentration of gold dust increased here, confirming we were near a significant junction.
Every deeper chamber revealed more gold residue, as if the heart of the structure pulsed with it.
Maya compared the quadrants to the 4 folds of her map. They aligned too perfectly to ignore.
The suit patterns suggested ritual torch processions long before our arrival. Moisture this deep meant the tomb was connected to subterranean veins of the ancient river.
The symbols instructed that only the center path led to the Chamber of Trials. I felt the vibrations before I heard any sound, as though the structure itself breathed around us.
The floor was intentionally unstable, a form of primitive alarm meant to deter intruders.
Even dormant, the mechanism radiated danger. One wrong move could trigger a collapse. That sound confirmed the tomb still reacted to movement. Time had not fully disarmed its defenses.
The dust thickened until it resembled fog, making the path feel like a threshold between worlds.
Every downward shift brought us closer to the foundation of the ancient builder's secrets. The accumulation of gold dust here suggested centuries of settling from deeper vaults. The spirals symbolized descent, each loop a deeper layer toward the hidden chamber.
Strangely, the air warmed the further we descended, signaling either vented chambers or ancient mechanisms still functioning.
Maya advanced carefully, convinced the glow marked the threshold of a protected zone. We found embers that had not burned in ages, yet still held the memory of heat. I felt each step guide us into a deeper core, as if the tomb funneled us with deliberate design. The deeper we went, the more the sounds of the earth returned, whispering through hidden gaps.
The architecture became rougher, suggesting the builders rushed this section, perhaps believing no one would ever reach it. The hollow sound revealed a chamber beneath us, sealed for reasons we wouldn't understand until much later.
Maya noted how the gold dust followed the cracks. It was as though the vault breathed upward through the gaps. The ceiling pressed so low it forced us to bow, as though entering sacred territory.
Crossing that tight gap felt symbolic, like passing a test of endurance.
The walls sparkled faintly, hinting at minerals connected to the legendary Golden Chamber.
Maya believed these rings depicted the chamber's structure, a vault layered around a golden core. We entered a zone where the tomb's design became more defensive, as though hiding its heart from all intruders.
The mechanisms had long since decayed, but their presence revealed how seriously the ancients protected something below.
I realized the hinge once controlled weighted barriers. One wrong step centuries ago could have been fatal. This was the Sun Gate, the final marker on the map before the trials leading to the Golden Chamber.
When the gate opened,
The corridor stretched ahead like a silent challenge, its alternating stones hinting at traps designed to judge every step.
Maya moved with careful intuition, reading the stones like a language written for those who dared decipher it. Each movement activated faint tremors overhead, reminding us how alive the old mechanisms still were. I recognized the patterns from ancient engineering texts. The grooves once guided falling weights meant to seal intruders inside.
One tile hid shattered gears, proof that we were walking across a minefield of ancient ingenuity.
That faint reflection told us gold lay deeper, its shine powerful enough to echo through layers of stone.
The 3 arcs matched a sequence on her leather map, marking progression through the trials.
The narrowing space forced us to focus, as though the builders intended to strip away distraction. The slanted floor warned of shifting weight, a subtle reminder that balance was part of the test. Some panels quivered ominously, their fragility masking the dangers lying beneath.
Beyond the corridor lay the second chamber of trials, its symbols brighter, its presence unmistakable. Maya studied the spirals, realizing they mirrored the deeper lace-out of the vault itself.
The floor symbols acted as a silent guide, urging us into the next passage.
The drop passage narrowed so suddenly it felt like squeezing into the body of the earth.
The floor here was fractured from centuries of pressure, carrying the weight of the structure above. Heat shimmered in the air, hinting at chambers where ancient energies still lingered. I recognized the metallic tone, an old mechanism shifting under the weight of time and footsteps. The slits hinted at some projectile defense, though whatever once moved through them had long ceased. One shattered trigger reassured us that many traps had already spent their fury centuries earlier. Warm drafts raced upward, likely from deeper, sealed chambers where pressure still accumulated. The wind funneled so forcefully that it nearly extinguished our torches, reminding us how alive the tomb remained. The diagonal marks were ancient builders' signatures, etched by those who shaped the descent millennia ago. The radiant circle was unmistakable. It marked the boundary of the inner vault.
Everything about this chamber suggested preparation, as though the ancients expected a final pause before entering the heart below.
The stairs plunged sharply, signaling the beginning of the final layer before the golden chamber. The glow thickened like sunlight trapped underground, confirming we were close to the vault. The bridge forced careful balance, but the light rising from below filled us with purpose. This was the inner shaft, the final descent before the golden chamber. Maya secured each rope carefully, knowing that any failure here would end everything. As we lowered ourselves, the golden glow intensified until it felt like descending toward a rising sun. The carving seemed to tell a story of ascension and sacrifice, etched by hands long gone. My pulse quickened as the bottom came into view, the glow impossibly bright from a source unseen. The doorway radiated significance. It was the final barrier between us and the mythical vault.
Maya understood instantly. It was meant to turn, following the spiral pattern she had traced on her map.
The sun carving moved. I felt centuries of secrecy give way. As the stone door opened, warm light spilled out like breath from a sleeping sun. Mineral veins glittered around us, confirming we were approaching the core that legends had obscured.
The dust rose in slow spirals, as though disturbed by ancient breaths long trapped in silence.
The suns converged toward the center, guiding us toward the treasure said to illuminate the dead.
The final ramp felt like entering a sunrise, carved beneath the earth. I felt the warmth on my face long before I saw the chamber's heart. The doorway to the golden chamber seemed alive, its seams glowing like molten metal. As the door turned, the chamber awakened, revealing what had been hidden for centuries. The chamber was brighter than any torch could explain, its walls crafted to magnify even the faintest spark.
Each pillar echoed the brilliance of the sun god it honored, forming a sanctuary of eternal light.
At the center stood an urn of impossible craftsmanship, the supposed heart of the lost treasure.
The engravings seemed to tell a forgotten cosmology, one we could barely begin to interpret.
Light pulsed from within the urn's base, as though something alive lay sealed inside. The offerings surrounding the urn suggested a ritual purpose, not mere wealth.
The light danced across every surface, turning the chamber into a living constellation. The niche held something deliberately hidden, its cover crafted with astonishing delicacy.
Behind the plate lay a scroll, preserved almost perfectly despite the centuries. The scroll described the chamber's creation, linking it to a forgotten dynasty of sun worshippers.
Symbols confirmed that the urn held the dynasty's most sacred possession.
We knew opening it would reveal the final secret that had driven our entire journey.
When light surged upward, I realized the urn contained something far more intricate than treasure.
The sphere radiated a steady warmth, its glow untouched by time or decay.
It held a luminous substance unlike anything I had ever seen, perhaps symbolic.
The sphere amplified every spark in the room, as though it awakened the chamber itself.
The carvings revealed a worldview centered on rebirth and light, far more philosophical than we expected.
Walking the perimeter felt like traversing a sacred cycle, each step part of a ritual journey. Reflections above us formed shapes resembling solar storms, hinting at ancient astronomical knowledge.
Maya lifted the sphere with reverence, aware that we held the core of a civilization's spiritual legacy.
In that moment, the chamber felt alive, as though acknowledging our presence after centuries of solitude.
The golden dust rose like a silent chorus, celebrating the rediscovery of its forgotten sun. We returned the sphere gently, honoring the sanctity of the place and the people who built it. When the lid closed, the chamber's glow receded to a quiet pulse, as though drifting back into sleep.
I took one last look, knowing the chamber would outlive us all, untouched for generations to come. As we stepped away, the chamber's hum softened, returning to the quiet that had preserved it for millennia.
I left with a sense of awe I could never fully express. The golden chamber had revealed its heart.